concept of time, yeah. So right now, most people in this room, I'm not saying you are, but most people in this room have this idea that they came from a different place, walked here and sat down in this room, and that different place still exists. And that's what's happening to most people all the time, is they're having a story running in their imagination of what's happened, of where they're going. And that gives you a sense, a linear sense of where you are, like you think you know where you are. And you think that you're moving through a timeline. Whereas actually that's never your experience. Your experience is this moment, which is timeless, and in that images appear of time. So your experience is always that you're still, that you're right here, and that things come and go in you. And time is a really weird thing. Like sometimes if I travel a lot, so if I travel a lot in a month, it feels like the month is very, very long. And if I don't travel a lot and if I'm at home, it feels like the month passes really quickly. And the reason that I've come up to, and why I think that happens is because when I travel, I have lots of things to remember. So it gives the appearance of more time. Whereas when I don't have anything to remember in particular, it's like it passes really quickly. So it's all about memory, this perception of time. It's not a fact, it's not something that's true. It's something that is appearing in your imagination, and you're gauging where you are by this appearance of time. But where you are is now. Even the idea is simply an idea that there is a place that you've come from to this. Actually, you are right here looking out. This presence, this consciousness is right here, and then there's an image of you, and most people even formulate a picture of you moving through the world. And then you, coming here and sitting down, it's all pictures of you. You're not even inside your eyes, like looking through your eyes, you're actually imagining a body doing that. And actually, in every moment, you're simply here and conscious, and everything is appearing inside your consciousness. There's nothing that appears outside consciousness, and you never ever will have proof that there is an outside of your consciousness. And it's funny because people take that as the reality, that things are happening outside of my consciousness and that there's a world that exists outside this room. They take that as the reality, but actually your experience is there is only this. This is all there is. And that's your actual experience. Everything else is imagined. So humans are hypnotized by this idea of time. It's something we taught each other. If you take an animal, or if before humans speak or thought, so before we developed like this complicated language or thinking system, we didn't have these images and this idea of time. And we were just here. Like if you take my dog is super cool. She's always travelled her whole life. She's originally from Thailand, and I travel all over Europe with her. And I know that she can't really formulate much of time. She can't really think that much. She has some sense, like it's dinner time, but I think that might just be that she's hungry and it's like a routine, and she sort of remembers where her bone is, but maybe that smell. And they say that they do a lot through smell, like memory comes a lot through smell, but most of the time she doesn't know time, and she doesn't know how long things are or where she is. And it's really cool because I take her to a hotel, I put my clothes down, and normally I put my stuff down, normally I go down for dinner and I leave her in the room, and she's so good at just accepting that. Like she doesn't know where she is, she's got no perception that she's come from the south of France and now she's in Germany and she's in a hotel room. She's only ever there in that moment. She can't imagine that she's a dog and that she came from the past, or that she's going to the future, or even that I will come back. She just is there in that room with that sensory perception, and she's relaxed because my smell's there and I'm the leader, and that relaxes her. She knows I come back for her, so she just waits. But she doesn't have any sense of it. She doesn't even know who she is. She can't imagine who she is. Like a dog, when you show a dog's image in a mirror, like it can't recognize itself. Like who would she imagine herself to be? Like I really doubt that she imagines herself as a dog with like black pointy ears and a curly tail and like has an owner called Lisa. Like she can't think of herself. She can't see herself. She can't imagine that she moves around in time. So she's only ever here experiencing this, and the body responds to this. So they also say that we came from chimpanzees, or we evolved from chimpanzees, so we used to live up in the trees, and that when we came down to the forest ground, that we had to use our mind a lot more, which created time. So when we were chimpanzees, or when we lived up in the trees, we didn't have to have a very strong imagination of time. We didn't really have to have much language, because survival was a lot easier in the trees. Like, we didn't have to think about problems and fix problems, but when we came down to the ground, it was a lot more dangerous. And we had to evoke time, we had to have planned things, and we had to work out how to capture or defend ourselves against animals. And eventually it progressed onto like herding animals and keeping animals, and we became really good at survival. But in the beginning, we had to evolve from just being here, so not really having much sense of time, not really having much sense of me or the other or anything, and then we evolved to have this perception of time. But it's only our perception, it's not reality. We take it as a society as reality, that time is real and the way we think is real, where it's absolutely not real. It's only the way we speak, it's only the way we communicate in order to survive better. But we see our reality like that, we see ourselves like that. Whereas there's something here that's beyond that, beyond what we think, beyond what we know, beyond what we believe ourselves to be. And it's way more mysterious and magical than you can ever comprehend.